Hey guys, we're down in the corn patch today trying to clean this stuff up. I got 8 rows of peaches and cream planted down here. Planted these things on Friday the 13th of April, and it got a kind of spotty germination. Not too bad. I figure about 85%, something like that. Came up a little bit uneven, but they'll be all right. What I'm trying to do now is get all the weeds and stuff out of them, and if you can see, they're not a real dark green yet. I was kind of light on the fertilizer, so I just side dressed these first 7 rows yesterday. Gave them a little bit more fertilizer to try to beef them up some. And what I'm doing now, I got one more row right here I need to clean up. And then I got some more rows over here to the side where I'm going to plant a second crop. Looking at this last row, you can get an idea for the weeds up around this stuff. I've been busy, kind of let it get away from me. So now I need to take the hoe and clean up around it. It's a little warm and humid down here today, so this straw hat right here really helps out. Keep them mayflies from tearing my head up and getting all over the back of my neck. Works real good. Also keep the sun off my ears a little bit. But this is my trusty hoe right here. Old fella gave me this one a few years back. Got a nice long handle on it, nice and sturdy. And the head of it is pretty well worn. You can see this thing has been used right much. But I'm using this old thing right here, and she get the job done. Had to improvise a little bit and put me a hose clamp on here, clamp this thing, make sure she stayed onto the handle real good. Having one side of the blade a little wider than the other is actually an advantage. Allows me to get a little bit closer to the plants than I normally would if I would just have had the one wide side. But this does a good job of chopping the weeds up. Takes a little time. You got to be careful what you're doing. Try not to tear your corn stalks all to pieces. But I get this row cleaned up right here. Come back. What I do is rake down the side to get all this stuff out of here. And then I'll lay a little fertilizer down and side dress it a little bit. Most times when people do their hoeing and stuff in the garden, they just chop the weeds and leave them laying on the ground. Let the sun come by, bake them, dry them out. And they'll be fine. What I like to do, if at all possible, is just go ahead and rake these things out at the end of the row. Get them out of here. So I just clean my row up real good. Try to make it look like somebody cares about it. As I said before, the better your rows, the better your crop looks. More often than not, the better your production is going to be. That looks more like it right there. Nice and clean down the side. Now I can go ahead and put my fertilizer down, come back with my push plow, heal it up just a little bit, and we'll be ready to go for another few weeks till I come back and side dress it real good the final time and plow it with the tractor and bed it up real good. When I laid these rows off with the tractor and the cultivator with the fertilizer hopper on it, I didn't have it adjusted quite right. I could tell it wasn't putting out quite as much fertilizer as it probably should have. So what I'm going to do right now is just side dress a little bit and try to catch it up some. Now comes the fun part. We get to go old school. This one of them old-timey high wheel push plows. A little bit harder to work with than I think that Planet Junior that I'm still working she had in her video where she just cruising on down the road. This one takes a little bit more effort, but it should still get the job done. It'd be a great thing to have when you can't afford to buy gas or when there is no gas. And what I have found the best way to use this is to push it forward and then pull it back and do it again. That way you make sure you're throwing the dirt up around the base of the plant. And the thing about using this right here, basically when you put your fertilizer down beside of it and you come along with this, you're covering up that fertilizer. You never want to leave your fertilizer laying on top of the ground. That nitrogen will disappear real quick. Another thing that really helps with this kind of push plow is having some decent ground to work with. If I was up there on the hill in some of that hard red clay, this wouldn't work so well. That's how you get her done. So I got 8 rows of peaches and cream over there. And what I want to do right here for my second crop is plant some candy corn. That's another one of them hybrid, really sweet corn. Something that goes real good coming off the grill. But the situation I have is I laid these rows all back at the first part of April, laid the whole garden off at one time, and I haven't done anything with it. And you can see the weeds that are in this row. I've already run the walk behind tiller down the other rows, trying to get ahead of the game. I saved one just so you could get an idea of how bad the weeds were in it. So I take the tiller, go down this row, make a second pass on it, try to clean it up a little bit. We'll try to plant some more corn. That looks more like it right there. I went up and got the tractor real quick, run the cultivator back down the rows, kind of marked them off again, and then took the rake and knocked down that crown, made it nice and smooth. Give me a good bed to run this earthway planter on. I can't emphasize enough the importance of preparing the soil, getting it right before you plant. Get it loosened up and in a condition where you can run this planter down it without running over clods and chunks of grass and stuff like that, and make your life a whole lot easier. Takes a little bit of time as far as the preparation goes, but it's worth it. I got my little earthway planter all set up, ready to go. Got the corn plate in here, which is plate number 4. Got me some Kandy Korn seed, and they spelled it candy as in C-A, but it's actually spelled K-A-N-D-Y-K-O-R-N, like Kandy Korn. That's the variety. So I got 8 rows of peaches and cream over there, and what I'm gonna do, I got 7 rows right here. I'm gonna take the first row and we're gonna plant some squash in it, and we're gonna plant 6 rows of this Kandy Korn right here. I got my depth gauge set about 3/4 of an inch. We're gonna see if I can hold a straight line with this thing. That don't look too bad. Not bad at all. And remember when I talked about this hole right here being kind of tapered on one end and wider on the other? That really comes in handy when I'm making this furrow, getting ready to plant my squash. I got a narrow end that I can put right down into the soil, and the wider end up at the top opens it up real nice. And for this squash right here, we're gonna plant some more of that straight neck like I had last year. I like that a lot more than a crook neck. Just gonna drop it down in this row about 8 inches or so apart, real quick like. And if everything comes up real good, I can always go back and thin it out. And then it's just a matter of coming back with the hoe and just pulling a little bit of dirt on them. Don't want to cover them up too much. And with this soil being so warm and got some moisture in it, I expect this stuff to be up in about 3 days. That looks pretty good right there. Got 6 rows of Kandy Korn, got a row of straight neck squash, and got the first 8 rows of peaches and cream all cleaned up and looking good. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. We'll check back in a few weeks and see what's going on. I got a lot of stuff planted this year. This will give me 14 rows of sweet corn. This is my 3rd row of straight neck squash. I got 3 rows of cucumbers up there on the hill. Got about 300, 325 or so tomatoes, counting inside the greenhouse and what's in the garden. About 60, 70 sweet and hot peppers outside. I got my watermelon and cantaloupe patch planted. About 17, 18 rows of snap beans, about 9 rows of purple hull peas. I think I pretty well got it covered. The only thing I hadn't planted yet is my okra. I'll get to that shortly. But I want to say something real quick about this prepping and gardening deal. On my channel, the name of it says preparing to provide. That is what I'm doing. I own a mobile home park. Got a lot of poor people here that in just a short amount of time, just 3 or 4 days, everything they have in the house would be wiped out if they couldn't go to the grocery store, and they would be in a world of hurt. They're gonna need help. So y'all take care, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time.